Parents, I think most of you guys knows this guy beside me, and he's quite popular now in the Philippines. And I want to ask you right away. We got Elijah Pierce. I want to confirm: was it really you, Pierce, who responded to Genre Casimero's post on social media?
Oh yeah, that was definitely me.
You don't have
Definitely
any
me.
brother that manages your social media account? Just want to
Nah,
verify this.
nah, that's all. That's all me. I manage all my social media. I got word that I seen that he posted me, and instantly I ain't ducking no smoke from nobody. From nobody. I want all the big fights. So if
Wow.
John Casimero want to come get that ass whoop, then hey, let's do it.
Yeah, I want to confirm because he challenged, he trash talked everyone, honestly. So you did really want to knock him out.
Absolutely, absolutely. I knock him and his brother out. If his brother the one who posted the stuff.
Okay, all right. Before we talk about that, and I just wanted to confirm. Now that's confirmed, and before we continue on, before we get into deep into that, let me just do a quick intro, okay?
For sure. Let's get it.
Okay.
Here comes the boom, boom, pow, Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth, Powcast, the pioneer, the original Pow. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. Powcast Sports, the #1 independent sports voice in the Philippines.
Powcast Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
So we're talking to Elijah Pierce. He got 21 wins, 17 of the wins by knockout with only 2 defeats. He's the current WBO International Featherweight Champion. Welcome to Powcast Sports. I feel that I should give you first a regular welcome, just a greeting to the Filipino fans that's watching.
Oh man, it's a pleasure, man. I appreciate you reaching out. Like I said, I'm familiar with your interviews too. Like I've watched a couple, when I've fought several other Filipino fighters just to kind of, you know, gather information and whatnot. So, I'm honored that you allowed me to be on your platform.
Thank you. It's an honor as well. And wow, thank you very much. You've been watching me. Most of my content are in Filipino, but I could do English content. But I certainly appreciate. At least you know me. You watch some of the interviews. You fought a lot of Filipinos. You defeated
Yeah.
them. But before that, pleasure to have you. And I think I would say it now. We're looking at the future world champion. And hopefully you can get more followings in the Philippines. We're a big boxing nation. But before we go into boxing, Elijah, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Who's Elijah Pierce as a person?
Oh well, first and foremost, I'm a father. I'm a father. I have two children. I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 6 month old. I mean, excuse me, he's 5 months. He's almost 6 month old son or whatever. So that's my pride and joy. That's literally my livelihood. That's my legacy. So first and foremost is that, and then I'm also a family man just in general. Like family is most important to me. That's kind of the reason why I became the wolf. Because I actually can associate with the wolf itself. That's my spirit animal. I love family. Family is the most important thing to me. So really, those two things right there are really the culmination of who I am as a person as far as personality. And then my father, he was a former fighter. He was a martial artist and kickboxer back in the day. So it was just a bonding experience between father and son that ultimately, you know, transitioned into what we hear today. Um, Top 5 contender, getting ready to, fight for a world title real soon. Once these guys quit ducking me.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Appreciate that. And I did actually kind of take a look at your social media. You said you're a father. I also have a 9-year-old daughter, so we're kind of on the
Oh man,
same
all respect,
there.
all respect.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for now. I mean, like I they're growing so fast. I don't want them to grow so fast. I mean, they still want the father at 9 years old. So let's enjoy that time, bro.
Definitely, definitely, always.
I did also saw in your profile and kind of browse around. You're a father, but you also mentioned musical artist because I remember I interviewed Dominic Boxer. He's a
Mhm.
rapper in Florida.
Yeah.
Do you have? Do you? Are you
Yeah, I
also a
do. I
musical artist?
literally any form of entertainment for the most part I do. I sing, I rap, I dance, I act.
Wow.
I do it all, and I do it actually quite well. Yeah, I'm actually working on a well, I just completed a R&B album, whatever. So that'll
Is
be
it on
coming
Spotify?
coming. It's coming soon. I already have a lot of music on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music,
I'll check
all
it.
that stuff. Yeah, I have a lot of
I
music.
watched the highlights, but I this is the first time I heard about your musical side, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
check
yeah,
it
man.
out. You're
I
not
do
gonna
a
get
lot.
poor. You got a lot of things you can do. A lot of
Absolutely.
backup plans. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
even have aspirations to commentate one day, maybe possibly
to what? I'm sorry.
to commentate on the fights.
Commentate. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. You get a lot of character in you. So, but you mentioned your father is a Muay Thai or a kickboxer. So I'm guessing that's the inspiration. Why you went to boxing, not that sport?
Oh, I mean, I've trained in kickboxing and in the
Mm-hmm.
MMA as well, but he transitioned into boxing in the late, in the early 2000s. So once he transitioned, that's when I became old enough to learn. So it was like I said, it was more so just a father and son bonding experience. It wasn't really for me to fight. It was just to he wanted to teach his son how to defend himself, teach me
Yeah.
how to be strong, how to be tough and whatnot. And then I had natural skill. I was naturally fit to fight. So he
Mm-hmm.
just he seen that and then he nurtured it. And then I
When
just,
did you start taking it seriously? What
oh,
age?
I actually, see, I'm a child of divorce. So I would only box in the summer times when I would go visit my father. Cause I moved with my mother to Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I eventually moved back with my dad my freshman year of high school, and then I stayed my freshman and sophomore year. And my sophomore year, that's when I began taking boxing seriously because I was actually a very good basketball player. I was really good, but
Wow.
I was very short. So I was like, the odds of me becoming an NBA player and really making a career out of basketball was very slim to me.
Mm-hmm.
So after the realization that came from my father when he told me that, I believed him, and he thought I should box. He said he thinks boxing would be more conducive for me. So I listened, and then he that's where it all started. So I just once I moved back, I finished school in Atlanta my junior and senior year, but I continued to box and I boxed in Georgia. And then eventually, once I became professional, after making it to the Olympic trials in 2016 and so on and so forth, then I ended up training back with my father, and then we've been training ever since.
That's a good call then. That's a good decision.
Yeah, for
Boxing,
sure.
you're actually doing great so far. But before we go to your professional level, I kind of browsed around. I saw that during the amateur you fought some well-known fighters.
Yeah,
Like you defeated Rolly. You fought
yeah,
Rolly
yeah.
Romero.
I beat Rolly. I beat Rolly by unanimous decision. Um,
What was the
I
weight
beat
then?
132. Yeah, and
Okay, you
I
were
was
heavier.
actually,
You
yeah,
were
I was
heavier in amateur. Mm-hmm.
actually the smallest 132 in in that division too.
Mm. Good call to go down one division. So, talk to me about Rolly Romero. I mean, he's kind of big right now. He's actually being considered to be the next opponent of Pacquiao.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's extremely big, and he's strong too, very strong. But see, the misconception that a lot of people don't really know about me, or they don't really do enough research on, is that I've always fought at my natural weight. I never knew about cutting weight. I never knew about the art of it. I never knew about none of that stuff until super late. That was why I ended up going down in weight to 122
Wow.
later on in my career. I started my career at 140, 135 because I used to walk around about 140, 141.
So
I just used to just make the weight. I never used to know how to cut like that. They would tell me to lose a couple pounds or whatever, but that's it. I never knew how to actually diet properly, and these guys are losing 10, 15, 20 pounds. Like I
that,
never did none of that stuff.
in the
So
Philippines, that's actually very common. That's a secret. You like really slim down. because that's an advantage because you're gonna blow up on the fight night.
Right. See,
But now
I
you know
had
that for sure
no
now.
clue. Yeah, no, of course. Now, yeah,
Oh, sure.
that's become a part of like the fight game for the most part. Most
Hmm.
guys do that. Most guys,
Yeah.
but
I
before,
want to
yeah,
segue.
that's
Go
oh no,
ahead.
I was just saying that was just why I ended up actually getting my first loss was because of that. I fought a
Ah,
guy who was experienced and he was huge. Dude was huge.
yeah. That's a secret. So you're comfortable at 126 now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm cool.
I'm gonna segue a little bit because a lot of Filipinos might wanna hear your thoughts on this one. Let me
Okay.
ask you about what you think. Pacquiao got a draw against Barrios. Now they're considering Rolly Romero. You fought Rolly, although that was a long while back. What do you think of that fight?
Um.
Is that too much for
Oh
Manny?
no, I'm not gonna
126?
lie. No, no, I'm not gonna lie. I've always felt somewhat like a even though it's not, it's I feel shame for even saying it a little bit, but I've always been a tad bit envious because think about it, like just because of how our careers have kind of went. I come from a small state. I come from Oklahoma City. A lot of people don't even know where that is. So, and it was really just me and my father. Like I didn't at first, until I began to build a team and everything else. It was just me and my father beginning. So there was a lot of knowledge that we didn't know, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that kind of affected my career early. Like I said, including the weight stuff. That was why I ended up getting the first loss, and then
Okay.
the second loss ended up from personal issues. But just to see Rolly in his in his stardom or whatnot, he's making a lot of money. He's doing
Yeah.
quite well. And it's like, wow, that's somebody I beat. Fairly, convincingly at that. But
Yeah.
and to see him elevate as far as he did, but people like to look at me as if I'm not capable of of being that as well, considering that I've beaten these same type of guys,
Mm-hmm.
including even one of my close friends, Bruce Carrington. Me and him, we went
Yes.
1-1 at the Olympic trials.
He's also a star of Top Rank.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not far fetched for me to be a star because I've been in the same rings and fought some of the same types of guys that there people are revering as stars. So why is it so far fetched for me to be viewed as one? That
Well,
doesn't
people
make
got their
sense.
opinion. I mean, maybe I'm sure you're gonna have your own journey. You're still just 28, right? Or
Yeah, yes.
26?
I mean it's
Yeah. So
yeah,
you have
it's
time,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, end of the day, it's all gonna happen. I've always said that I'm inevitable.
right?
Yeah.
Right. But going back to the question, because I want to
Oh
hear
yeah.
your thoughts. I mean, be honest with me though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Don't
it's
think
gonna
that
be
there's a lot
a
of Filipino that's gonna watch this. If you say
yeah.
otherwise, it's okay. But
No,
the
for sure.
world
I
is
mean,
gonna say what. Okay.
it's gonna be a good fight.
Mm,
Like Manny, I mean, Manny's a legend, man. He has nothing more to prove. First and
mm,
foremost, Manny's a legend. He's has nothing more to prove. But at the end of the day, he has that fighting spirit, and that's something that you can't teach. That's what I respect most about Manny. So the fact that he's gonna continue to get in there with younger guys, stronger guys, whatever, like he's still gonna put it all out there, and that's hard to beat, regardless if you're younger and maybe a little bit stronger or whatever. That's still a very hard that's a hard opponent to deal with, especially considering all the experience that Manny has. So still think it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think that a Rolly's gonna like knock him out or anything like that. I don't.
who's well, I think Rolly is the favorite. But if you cut the 100% pie, like 50-50, 60-40, how do you see it?
Yeah, I would say I'd say if it's 50-50 to me, I think.
50-50. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. There are two fights that's being considered. Pacquiao just returned to the Philippines. He confirmed that he's going to be fighting this December. But one of the other fight is Tank Davis. That's a little bit of a stretch. Do you think? Because Tank Davis, big hands, powerful guy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really I normally don't like to speak on Tank Davis because I don't like Tank Davis, whatever,
Okay.
because of me and his past issues, whatever, with our sparring
Ooh.
that he's so upset about. I went viral for a sparring video of me and him,
Uh
and
huh. You
I
probably
had
beat him
yeah, I got the
on the
better of
spare.
him in the sparring,
Okay.
so he was upset. He was upset that I posted it or whatever.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, end of the day, I really don't. I really don't care for him too much. I mean, he's a good fighter though. I mean, I never disrespect or take
Okay.
away from anybody. I mean, he's a really good fighter, very strong, very technically savvy and everything. But I mean, I don't really care for him
You
as a
see
person.
yourself move. I mean, you're bigger. You're taller than Tank Davis. Maybe in the
Yeah,
future, if you're still fighting, you think
absolutely. I
135.
I love to fight him. I love to fight him.
Okay. How about one more Pacquiao question?
Okay.
Floyd Pack is also being considered. Do you think that's gonna happen?
Nah, I doubt it.
From
I
your
mean, it
from your perspective,
could.
is it still a big fight? I mean, from your perspective, because in the Philippines, Pacquiao fight is always a big fight. But
Yeah,
you
yeah. I
guys,
mean, mm, yeah, I say yeah. Only reason I say yeah is because I
mm,
mean, think about it. If Jake Paul and an older version of Mike Tyson was a
Mike
big fight,
Tyson, yes,
then yeah, I'm sure Floyd and Pac two will still be a high selling fight regardless, just because of the names, the legendary careers of both gentlemen, and yeah, it would
yeah.
still be a big fight.
Yeah, since you mentioned that, when I ask you real quick, in boxing, a lot of this kind of, some call it circus, some call it exhibition. How you feel about this? And do you see yourself, let's say, being included or being part of this type of fights? Maybe, like say, a YouTuber challenger for a lot bigger money. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, it just kind of depends on where I am at the stage of my career. Like, would I
Mm-hmm.
fight a YouTuber like now, or like if a one shot, like as soon as I become champion or something? Probably not, because I don't feel like that does anything for my career.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me personally. But yeah, if I was at the latter part of my career and stuff like that, yeah, of course, because it's a
So you
business.
understand this? You understand
Yeah,
the boxing because there's a lot of criticism
absolutely.
about it.
I understand it. I just think it's unfair, but at the same time, this kind of one of the reasons why I respect Jake Paul, just because at least he's trying to help the fighters
Yeah,
as well. He's helping them with bigger paydays and whatnot. Like, he's actually helping. So
correct.
only thing I disagreed with at first was the fact that here's a guy who just came from YouTube, and all of a sudden he's making way more money than guys who's
Yeah,
sacrificed and put their all into the sport. That I didn't understand that at all.
yeah, kind of unfair, but I mean, it's the followers are into this type of things.
Of course.
Um, you're 28. You still have a lot ahead. Do you see yourself fighting to like 40s, like Pacquiao? Like, do you have any
No,
time frame? No.
no, I don't. I honestly, man, like my boxing is a vehicle for me. Boxing is going to take me where I want to go. It's going to allow me to provide for my children, and it's going to allow me to build a life to where I'm capable of making even if it's a small impact or just a impact in general on the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal. I literally want to impact the world in some way, shape, or form, whether in a positive way, whether it be through entertainment, whether it be through philanthropy. Who knows? It could be a number of different ways of how I could help, but I just want to give my own little small part to the world. And I
Okay.
believe
Yeah.
that, through
Mm.
boxing, that I can genuinely do that.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of boxers that has done that, so you have some blueprint to follow. So I think you can do that. Especially if you keep winning and you become a world champion, you're gonna get your influence.
Absolutely.
Speaking of impact, um, you fought a number of Filipinos. As much as I hate it, these guys that you fought are some of my friends. Like, I know them personally. I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
them train. Yeah, like the most recently, Michael Desarinius. I want to talk to you about the first knockdown. You got caught there. What
Yeah.
happened?
I mean, really, honestly, it was just a flash knockdown. It
Mm-hmm.
was nothing serious. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't. I was okay. Um, I did have I had some faults in my training camp that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna make excuses. He caught me with a good shot. All credit to Das Marinas for exploiting my mistake. But I didn't actually spar any southpaws from my camp. I didn't spar
Oh,
any. So I just think that when he caught me with the shot, I didn't really see it because of not really being in the best training condition of seeing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Seeing that punch. So I mean, ultimately though, I was okay. Like I said, I mean, I was in great shape.
You look
Shout out to my
okay, man.
team. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my team. I was in great shape. So, I got up, I shook it off, and then I just kind of changed up. I kind it made me mad. It made me mad. So then I just kind of
Yeah, I see.
changed up
I
the
see it.
game plan. So then I would
Yeah,
decided to kind of approach him a little more aggressively after that.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that you really want to knock him out. But was it and I was be straightforward with, was it overconfidence? Like it's the reason why you were
No,
caught?
no, no. It
No,
wasn't
not really.
it wasn't overconfidence. It was just like I said. It was just, I think it was just like I said, that small lack
You
of
just
preparation. Not having that look. So I really felt really off. This is probably to me. I'm a hard critic of myself. This is honestly probably one of my worst performances, just because
oh
I wasn't comfortable with myself. Like I wasn't moving like I know. And they said it in the commentator. The commentator spoke on it. They was like, he doesn't look like his normal self. He's not as agile. He's not as doing a lot of the stuff he normally does. And I wasn't,
yeah
because I didn't feel necessarily in the best. I felt very sluggish, very tired. But like I said, there's no excuses. When we get in that ring, we have to make the best of what we got. So,
right. Well,
that's what I did.
you may feel sluggish, but you definitely have the more stamina because at the end of the day, I saw Michael Desarinius really gassing out and talk to me about that. You said it's a worst fight, but that was a man, that was a scary knockout. Talk to me about what happened, how you feel about when you
Yeah,
caught him with that
see,
shot.
that's Marino. I said what, but he had a smart game plan though. I'll give him that. He had a smart game plan. I
For
seen what
sure.
he was trying to do. I
Mm-hmm.
actually caught it early too, in about the second or third round. I caught what he was trying to do, and that was another reason why I kind of pressed the gas so much forward, because I knew there was a, because to be honest, um that most of the time when you get knocked down, it's always the punch you don't see.
Yes.
And that's why I got knocked down. But when I was actually focused, he wasn't gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much was like, okay, well, I know eventually you're going to get tired, because I'm putting too much pressure on him. I was just walking him down the whole fight. So I was like,
Yeah.
you're going to tire. And most people in that predicament would, if they're not hurting the other opponent, and they're just constantly throwing and moving and just constantly moving, you're gonna somewhat tire at some point. So that's just basically what happened. I just kind of baited them into it, and then I caught him when the time was right. And
Right.
my corner, they kept telling me to go to the body, because I don't know, and it's crazy because I'm a very avid body puncher. Like most of
Yeah.
my early knockouts, like matter of fact, I think I had about 7 or 8 body shot knockouts.
But you kept going to the head though.
Yeah, because honestly, 'cause we
Why?
worked on a specific shot, and I
Uh huh.
wanted to land it so bad, because I knew that if I landed it, it would end the fight. I knew it would end the fight, and to
Yeah.
which it actually started it. That was when I hit him with an overhand left, and that's what actually initiated the first knockdown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, so you won against Michael, and you fought three Filipinos already,
yeah.
right? So these are actually prospects and contenders. Filipino, you beat them, Arthur Villanueva and Mike Palania. You can answer this or not. Who do you think is the toughest of the three Filipinos that you fought?
um. Well, I mean, I can't really say toughest. I mean, because they're all different styles. But what I will
Mm-hmm.
say is that, I mean, obviously Das Marinas gave me the longest amount of
Yeah.
rounds.
Yes.
I stopped Pontiac in the third. I stopped Arthur in the fourth, and then I got Das Marinas out in the ninth. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to give him the credit deserving. But really, more than anything, all of them are genuinely great guys. All of them, I respect them. They're all my brothers in combat, and I have nothing but love and respect for them. Especially me and Arthur, we got really cool. We had a good conversation after we fought. Das Marinas, I was able to talk to him. He was I was I wanted to make sure he was okay as well. That he was fine and he was all right. And we hugged and said our goodbyes and whatnot. So it's our, and then they offered to also be a sparring partner as well. So um,
Yeah.
it's all love, man, to those guys, to those gentlemen, and to the Philippines. And I just appreciate that they continue to show me the support as well.
Yeah, we support you. I mean, most also, just so you know, and you fought three Filipinos. Most Filipinos, they're beasts in the ring, but outside the ring, they're just most of them are too shy, like
Yeah.
sometimes timid, right? They would just smile at you. And this goes to for Michael, Arthur, and Mike that you fought. Uh, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot more Filipino opponents. And some of the guys are saying is because in the Philippines we always fight Mexican, so there's Mexicutioner. You're
Yeah.
sometimes you're being tagged a Filipino conqueror.
Oh
Would you be okay with that?
yeah. I mean, if that's what they want to call it. I mean, so what I've seen from the most part is that everybody is wanting me to challenge Casemiro
Yeah.
because they say he's the best Philippine or whatever. Or that's what's being said, at least from what I've seen in comments. So
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
since you brought it up, let's talk
yeah,
about that, right?
yeah,
So this is gonna be interesting. So, yeah, we confirmed earlier that you did challenge. I mean, Casimero, just so he was my friend, and he is infamous in the Philippines for challenging everyone. Inoue, like all the big fight, but nothing really happened. So
right.
it's happy. It's such a joy for fans that you responded. Oh, finally, someone responded, and this could be a fight. Um, why did you respond? You really want to fight Casimiro? You consider this as a big fight for you?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna ever. I don't discredit no one. Casemiro,
Mm-hmm.
he's done some big things in boxing. He's rated high for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's a champion as well. He's been a champion and so on and so forth.
Multiple
So
division, yes.
exactly. So all respect to him. But I am inclined to be champion as well. I want to be a champion, and in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. So of course, why would I not want to fight Casemiro? So if he's even offering a fight with me, then yeah, let's do it. Because I genuinely believe I'm the best fighter at my division, and I believe that I will knock out all these guys like wholeheartedly, and Casemiro included. I've met Casemiro before.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
met in Vegas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is coincidentally when I first met Brendan Gibbons. Who was my one of my promoters currently. So I forgot what the gentleman name was, but he was training, and I had sparred with Raya Salim or whatever.
Ray
So
Salim. Yeah.
yeah, so I remember after that we took a picture and everything, and I was just like, man, this guy's really small. I like
I think
he's
that was
really
at the
small.
Capitolia gym.
Yeah, 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 yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
It was,
So
and
you
I was
met,
like,
yeah, and I saw the post. You said he was too small. What
yeah.
was your, aside from being small, what is your impression of him? I mean, during that time, just so you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
you
he's
working with
like I said,
Brendan.
he's a good fighter. I mean, he's very skilled at everything, and he even has good power too. Good power. I've seen some of his fights, but what I have is God given. Like I said, it's not something that can be taught. It's not something that people can buy or purchase. I have the
Mm-hmm.
the will of a warrior, like in my heart. That's why, like, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to beat me. I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm invincible. That doesn't mean I can't be knocked down or I can't be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
No, it just means that in the end of the day, I'm always going to rise to the occasion. I'm always going to put my best foot forward, and I'm never going to quit. So, with that being said, when it comes to fighting someone like myself, you have to be willing to die in there to beat me. Just because every time I step in that ring, I'm willing to.
For sure, for sure. That's why it's exciting to watch you. Also, kind of like the kind of fighters that we want to watch, like going for a knockout, entertaining, inside and outside the ring. You know,
Right.
but just going back. So Casemiro was there to spar Raiz Alim as well. You spar? Did you spar with Casemiro?
No, I didn't get to spar with Casimero. I wanted to, but
Uh,
I didn't get to though.
Yeah. So Casimero was working with Brendan Gibbons then, with Sean Gibbons. The
Yeah.
team, they don't have a good relationship right now. I don't know if you know.
Nah, nah, they don't at all. They don't at all.
Yeah. So it wasn't that good. So I honestly am curious to see the fight. I doubt if it's gonna happen because of what the history between the two former management, the Gibbons and Casimero. Because Casimero known for trash talking boxers, also known for trash talking their managers and promoters. Just being honest with you. So, but just in case if it happens, I mean, a lot of Filipino fans love him still, but it sometimes become too toxic. How do you handle, like, I'm sure, I don't know if you've seen some bashers already or critic since you
Very
responded.
much, very
Yeah,
much.
have you encountered that early, or
I mean,
how
end of
do
the
you manage
day,
those
it
things?
it I've had to learn, because when now, don't get me wrong, when I started to make an ascension and people started knowing more about me, it was a little more difficult to deal with all the toxic trolling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but now I'm a lot more seasoned to it. It's been a couple years, and it's all right. Everybody has their opinion. Nobody cares about their opinion. Most of these guys, they have never even stepped foot in a boxing ring or even know what it entails to be a fighter. So their comments don't bother me anymore. And to the people who support Casemiro or whatever, cool. I mean, they should. That's their countrymen,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're not from the Philippines, then I mean, end of the day, if they're a fan of him, then cool. I mean, that's not it has nothing to do with me. End of the day, I'm gonna stick beside what I say, and if I do fight Casemiro, do I believe I'm gonna knock him the hell out? Absolutely, yes, I will knock him out, and I
Since
I
since
genuinely believe that.
since you're talking about that, how do you see that playing out? When would I mean? Again, most boxers, especially in the Philippines, they don't answer this kind of things because they're afraid to be criticized, bashed if that doesn't happen. But you see how many rounds you think Casimiro and you would end up in? What kind of knockout? You said you're gonna knock him out. How do you see
Yeah,
that
I
playing
think
out?
I think I think it would either be a unanimous decision on my behalf, or like I said, or a late stoppage, maybe around the 10th, probably something like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it would definitely be later in the fight. But yeah, I definitely think I would catch him for sure. I
right,
don't think he's been in the ring with anybody like me before.
right. You're actually big for 126, 5'8", right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about
I
five
mean,
about 5'8", 5'9" with shoes. Yeah.
yeah, Casemiro is quite really small, but he's originally at super fly 115, 118.
Right.
He has a problem with weight, so that's why he's moving up to 126.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, in order to become a champion, I mean, he's also had God-given gift. I believe he's powerful. Even though some of the guys criticize him for partying too much, drinking a lot. Actually, I don't know if you know, he's suspended in Japan for being overweight for a year.
No, I didn't know that actually.
So, but it's gonna be expired this October, so he's gonna be fighting in Japan again. He is now with the Akameda Promotions, which who I know could be watching this. He just signed Casemiro again to I think a 3-fight deal. Maybe he would see you. You willing to go to Japan to fight
Absolutely. I
Casemiro?
I was already I already had when I was the sparring partner for Ryusuke Nishida for
Yeah.
Junto Nakatani. So when we was there, we were talking about me possibly fighting in Japan anyway. So I love Japan. That was, man, it was such a great experience being out there. So yeah,
What do you
I
want?
would actually absolutely love the opportunity to go fight out there, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
get a big fight like Casimero, you know what I'm saying? And then that fight, only thing that fight would do would just catapult me again, once again, and just solidify everything that I've said, because it's not if it's not known already, I am a shit talker. I do like to talk,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I back it up every single time. That's one thing nobody can dispute. I may
Yes.
talk, I may talk, and if some like it, some don't. But let's be truthful about it. Do I back it up? Yes, I do. That's where all these knockouts come from. So you got to respect it.
Right. I respect that definitely, and that's why we're having this interview because these days, I mean, especially like what I said, Philippines, it's hard to do interview. You don't get a lot of contents or anything, but I certainly appreciate that, and we've seen it in your fights. Like going back to Casimero, if Casimero is watching, You said you want the fight. You got any message for him right now?
Yeah, quit ducking smoke, boy. You need to quit ducking that smoke. I'm right here. I am the smoke. I'm the smoke. So if he want war, right here, come
Okay.
jump in with the wolves. Come jump in with the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how fast he can run.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe also I could get some advice with you. Um, we'll be playing a little, be sarcastic with Casemiro a little bit because Casemiro has a problem with weights. Do you have any recommendation with Casemiro on how to make weight? Because certainly you learned that right now. He's having problem making. Do you have any recommendation for Casemiro for make weight?
Man, I mean, at the end of the day, he more experienced than I am. So end of the day, he know what to do. Only thing he can do is I would advise him is to quit trying to shrink himself down and fight. Because he's getting older. He almost a couple years away from a senior citizen. So so if that's the case, then
Okay.
I go ahead and go up and come see me.
Yeah.
Let's put on a fight for the Philippines or in Japan, or we can do it here in America. I mean, either way
Yeah.
it go, I will be right there, and we can make it happen.
Yeah, he's definitely moving up to 126. So I heard. If you don't mind, let me ask you this as well. Casimero has been blatantly trash talking for a long time Naoya Inoue, and everyone knows Naoya Inoue is one of the pound per pound. What honestly, what do you think is the chance of Casimero beating Naoya Inoue? How do you see that playing out?
No, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening because if anything, I would be the one to beat Nawa anyway, not him.
Ah, wow. But do you think so? You think Naoya Inoue would knock out Casimero too, just the same way as you do?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think in a way ducks. I don't think he ducks anybody. Like one thing about it that kind of gets misconstrued about with me, or at least when I talk about in a way, I don't know why people get so mad because they think I can beat him. I know I can beat him, but besides that, I've always given Inoue his respect. Like he is a great fighter. Like he's very strong, he's agile, and he can punch. But that does
Definitely.
not mean that he's gonna beat me. Because one, I'm agile. I'm probably the biggest and most athletic fighter he would ever step in the ring with. And three, I'm punching too. You
Yeah.
know,
That con-
I, wo-
that
I don't
conversation.
know. I don't know if you know, but I work for the power company.
I do not know. What you mean? Electric company?
Yeah, I work for the electric company.
Oh,
That
as
means
what?
I shut lights out for a living.
Ah, oh, okay. Good punchline. Okay, I see what you did there. No, the conversation about Inoue and you, that's probably gonna happen next year when Inoue finally moves up to 126. You'll be waiting for him, and we'll start talking about you and Inoue. 126 is coming up next year, so I heard. Um,
I
one more thing
mean,
about. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, as far as him coming up, like I said, and I'm not also, he's also done uh something great. He's went up from lower classes and continued to become undisputed. So that's great. Now, but do I think he's going to do it at 126? No, I don't. I don't think he's going to be undisputed at 26. I think he definitely loses to one at 126. And I'm hoping it's going to be. I'll get the opportunity because he's not going to beat me. But if it's somebody else, I think there's a couple of fighters also that could give him a pretty big problem at this weight.
Yeah, I think it's about the same size as Casemiro, Naoya Inoue.
Yeah,
One more thing. Just one more prediction for Casemiro, if you don't mind. Luis Nery has also signed with Kameda, the same promoter of Casemiro. They're trying to
yeah.
build that fight up. How do you see that going? Casemiro versus Luis Nery.
That's a 50-50 fight. That's 50-50 for sure. Honestly, I believe I called out Lewis Nery too before. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm almost I called out Lewis Nery before too. Because I mean I knock him out too. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah, this is the. I mean, there's a lot of fighters who talked a lot but doesn't really perform the same way inside the ring. So, you guys like Luis Nery, Casimero, and you. I mean, at least you talk and then you give us some fireworks. So hopefully, these things happen. And Nery is also at 126 now, I believe, or 130. So
Right.
that could
That's what
still
I'm
happen.
saying. Absolutely.
But I mean, you mentioned Naoya Inoue, Nery Casimero, but let's look at the more realistic path for you. You're currently already ranked on your rank, right? Let me just double check on your ranking. Who do you think really you're ranked at number 3 WBA and number 6 WBO?
Yep. And
Right.
I
So
think I'll be ranked. I'll be ranked in the other sanctioning bodies once the rankings renew for the next month. I believe.
So number 3 for WBA, you got Nick Ball and
Oh
Sam
yeah,
Goodman
your
fighting.
sound is kind of crackling. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, likewise, but I can understand.
Okay, okay. I was
The
making sure. Okay.
likewise, you're crackling, but I can manage. So I was gonna ask you about the WBA route. You're number 3. Nick Ball and Sam Goodman is fighting. First thing is, who do you think wins that one? And you're interested for the winner? And how do you see that playing out?
Absolutely. I mean, I just called out Nick Ball. I just called him out right before. Me and Nick Ball were actually supposed to fight. So I've heard. My overtime boxing and Queensberry were in negotiations for us to fight. But then out of nowhere, they told me he pulled out of negotiations and he wanted to fight somebody else. That's what I was told. I don't, so only I can go off of what I was told. So once again, that's ducking. So and then I heard the same thing for him fighting Bruce Carrington. That he didn't want to fight Bruce Carrington. So I don't know. So I've called out just about, if people go on my social media, they can see it for themselves. I've made posts and I've literally called out just about every champion. Like every
Right.
champion I called out the champions at 122 when I was there, and I called out the champions at 126 as well. Everybody knows I want to fight Stephen Fulton. I don't like Stephen Fulton, not at all. Me and him, we've been beefing for a little while now. I wanted to fight. What's his name? Like I said, Nick Ball. I called out Angelo Leo. I respect Angelo Leo though. He's a good fighter, but I like to fight him, and I definitely like to fight Rafael Espinoza as well. Like I said, I think we'd be a great fight.
Yeah. But who's your preference? Who do you like the most to fight at 126? The champions.
Fulton or Nick Ball.
Fulton and Nick Ball, WBC.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
either WC or WBA. But I mean, it's possible I'll probably go the WBO route since I just won the international title. So if it
Yeah.
is Espinoza, then so be it. Like I have no care about fighting him as well. I feel like I'll beat him just the same.
Yeah. Okay. From your perspective, you've already ranked like how do you see that playing out? Like maybe one more fight or two more fights before the championship, or
Yeah,
go
I,
straight
I
to the
think
to
I
the.
think I think at the very most two fights, but I should be fighting in either a title eliminator soon or something. Like it should be something soon. I don't feel like at this point, what else can I really prove? I've beaten three world title challengers. I'm beating a lot of good competition. Guys, a lot of veterans, guys with a lot of fights. I mean, at this point, it's time for me to fight the elite fighters, the top five elite fighters. So, and people, they don't believe I can beat them. Okay, let's prove it. I'll show y'all I can beat them. And once I do beat them, whether it's Casemiro, whether it's Nick Ball, whether it's any of them, then what they gonna say then?
Yeah. Well, you're basically checking all the box. What do you think is missing? You've challenged them. You beat world champions or former world champions. What do you think is missing? How do we achieve this title fight?
I mean, either it's the promotion as it's either it's on the promotional side of things,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a lot of case of the scary.
Stop knocking out people. Then just try not to be too good.
Hey,
I heard that these days, like because boxing is a business, like if you're too good, you're not gonna get the opportunity. If you're somewhat good in your rank, then you're
no,
gonna get the big fights.
literally, I've literally told people, I've told other fighters and other people this before. I've seen this happen. I got offered to fight well, one of the guys from Japan. He was a very notable fighter in Japan. I took it immediately. Yeah, why would I not want to fight in Japan in a big fight and make a lot of money? Like what? So I took it immediately. They called back and they said they didn't want to fight me, and they chose to fight one of my friends because he had
Mm,
a lesser knockout ratio than me.
yeah,
Even though we had similar record, we both had two defeats, but
that's right.
I had a way higher knockout ratio, so they didn't want to fight me. They decided to fight him.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem these days. You're a victim of your own success.
Yeah, as simple as that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully, you still get the fight, and I'm sure someday somehow it's gonna happen. We've seen that too much in boxing, and as a fan of boxing, I mean, we want to see the best fighting the best. We want to see some good fights.
Well,
But
I just asked
mm,
the fans. I asked the fans because the fans have more power than they think. Like if y'all want to see these fights, then ask for these fights and be relentless in asking for these fights. I
yes,
guarantee people we have this is a spectator sport, therefore we get paid, the promoters get paid, the manager, everybody gets paid based off the fan value. We know like
yes,
this is common knowledge. So fans, if y'all really want old school boxing to come back and y'all want to see the best fight the best, buy for those fights and
yeah,
quit giving these other fighters scapegoat reasons to duck and make things favorable for them while they're getting paid absurd amounts of money. It doesn't make any sense.
for sure, for sure. And I feel you. Yeah, I mean, that's the one of the problem in boxing these days. Anyway, we talked about who you want to fight and what could happen, but the question is, what's in line for you now? What's really gonna happen? Any potential upcoming fights that you can share, if there are?
What I've been told, they said I'm taking like a little small break, maybe like a week or whatever, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's not a
You know,
break. A week, two
relax.
weeks.
Yeah, just
Okay.
relax a little bit, spend time with my family, with my children, just enjoy my time with my children. Um, and then after that, we're right back to work. I mean, the job isn't done. I'm getting, like I said, I want to be champion. I want it more than anything right now. Like that's my goal is to be a champion, and I know I'm this close. I'm this close, and this fight that I just had kind of cemented it that much. It was another step closer. So at this point, that's why what I was saying earlier. I don't feel like there's really nowhere else I can go as far as fighting another veteran or prospect or nothing like that. I need to fight an elite fighter. So to prove that I belong and I deserve a title shot. So give me Casemiro, give me Nick Ball, give me any of these champions or give me any of the top five contenders. That's all I want is either a champion or a top five contender.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You open in November, December. Is that
Yeah,
kind of the
absolutely.
idea? And you can
Absolutely.
fight in any other promotions. That's okay with your
Yeah.
contract.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this with the manager of Casimero.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hopefully, you can be in Japan because I heard Casemiro is they're still looking for opponent for a comeback in December.
Oh, I love to. I ain't gonna lie. When I
Honestly though, honestly, I think it's good, but I don't think it's wise for Casemiro to have you right away.
I mean, hey, I mean, if he feels like he's ready, then let's do it. But I tell you one thing, he better be ready. He better bring his blanket and his pillow.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you know what? It's been fun talking to you, and it's such a pleasure. At least we learn more about you. You know, there's some things. There are boxers that talks trash, but I can see that you're still very professional in the way you approach things. I mean, there's just the art to doing this type of things, and you're right on the dot on that one. So I appreciate the opportunity and the time. Hopefully, when you get a time, and if you need some PR or anything you wanna shout out, challenge, you can always reach out to me now since we're connected. I guess it's not the end of the time where I ask you for any shout outs or any greeting or anyone you want to thank or sponsors, anything, or
Oh
anyone
yeah,
promote
yeah,
your
man.
social media if you have any.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people can follow me on social media at Elijah_Pierce on Instagram, on Twitter at WXXXLFIE. Um, Man, to all the young fighters or people who support me or who follow me, who are inspired by me, one of my favorite quotes is, "No matter the conditions in the wilderness, a wolf will never eat grass." And by that, I've always loved that quote because to me it derives from being relentless in the approach of what you want and never giving up. It's like, okay, I can decide to settle for this grass to feed myself, but instead, no, I want that full course meal, that 5-star meal. I want to that you know what I'm saying
Yes.
that buffalo or that what I'm saying, that horse or cow or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying. I want the steak. Like I want the real food. You know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to settle for mediocre. I want the best. And therefore, I just believe that anybody who out there and they're striving to become a boxer, just understand it's not easy. It's hard work. You have to be dedicated, and that's the only way that you're going to win in this sport, because it's a banking system sport. That's what I tell kids. Therefore, like if you go to a bank and you deposit some money, you can take out the money when you need to spend it. It's the same thing with boxing. You make your deposits in the gym with the hard work, and then come fight night, you take out the money and you can use it during the fight to make it easier. So that's kind of how I like to correlate the two. But other than that, man, yeah, thank my sponsors. Thank my boy John Chica from Dry Guys Construction. My boy Damian Vasquez from LCS Constructions. My uncle Wayne Cooper from Kuma CBD. Um, my boy Ricky Manzanares from Don Jose Mexican Restaurant. And to everybody who's been supporting me, thank you to my coaches, Team Wolf, my dad, my mother, my management, Tryphon Petrov and Jesse Tanksley, my stepfather. Um, I'm just extremely, and to my, of course, to my promotions, Overtime Boxing and Viva Promotions, Sean and Brendan Gibbons. Um, I'm just thankful, man. I've worked relentlessly to be here. Like, people have no idea the story of where I come from and how I've literally almost made it, and then I fell, and then I now I'm back and I've exceeded where I was before. So I'm grateful for the journey, for every experience. I'm grateful for the lessons I've continued to learn. I have my beautiful children. And I just ask that all you guys, y'all continue to support me, whether you like me or not. Y'all are gonna see me because they're not gonna beat me. I'll knock out all y'all favorites, whether it's Fulton, Casimero, Nick Ball, whoever. They all get knocked out end of the day. So stay tuned. The hunt continues. And once again, I appreciate you reaching out, man, and giving me the opportunity to share your platform.
It's such a pleasure, and I like you. I mean, smart, very smart. I like the mindset, like the motivation. I like how focused you are in what you want to do in your career, in your life. So thank you. It's such a pleasure, and hopefully this is not the the last time. We'll get some more interviews,
Oh,
especially when you become
absolutely.
world champion again.
Yes,
So I
sir,
wanna
man.
I wanna get you some more followers in the Philippines. We got 1 million followers on Facebook and 500,000 YouTube. So hopefully you get a lot more eyes, and you get that fight with Casimero or whoever. So
Yes, yeah.
big fight for
Let's
you.
make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, man. But yeah, like I said, once again, thank you. And just anytime you want to interview, just reach out to me like you did, and we'll
When you
we'll
get
make
a
it happen.
fight,
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
get a
for
fight,
sure,
we'll get in touch.
no
So
doubt.
thank you very much. I'm just gonna end the recording, and I'll just talk to you off record. Okay, we'll quit.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Thank you.